in my bones, in my soul, in my heart. I just don't care. So I wasn't sure what to make of this because I wasn't even sure if it was real or not because I could only find like this thing on the Guardian article. I don't even know if it's an article. It says past notes, fruit. What does that mean? It doesn't say who wrote it. Like it's trying to be funny. Isn't that taking the pith? Because lemons. Okay, I actually do like that. Point is, I only found it here and Independent, Telegraph, there's no linking to anything. They just link to one another. According to Retail Gazette, and then you go to Retail Gazette, and it says Tesco has confirmed, and it links to a Telegraph thing. There's a link, but it's to another Telegraph thing that has nothing to do, it has to do with Heinz. It's nothing to do with anything. Again, here, the Independent Supermarket confirmed, and it just links to the Telegraph, which then links to nothing. What? There seems to be no proof of this actually being a thing, but there is proof on the Tesco website. Anyway, I should probably say what I'm talking about. I guess you can see from the titles, but apparently Tesco, which is a big grocery store chain in the UK, some of their citrus, their lemons, and their oranges are not suitable for vegans. If you go to the Tesco website and you search for lemons or oranges, not the organic ones, because I don't think those have the wax on them, but just the regular lemons and oranges, and you scroll down under preparation and usage, it says wash before use, not suitable for vegans. Now, according to these questionable sites, that is because of the wax. It's because of the coating on these fruits. Post-harvest application of beeswax to the peels. This is for the oranges. That's really the only thing that makes sense. I don't know why else they wouldn't be vegan. It makes sense that it would be the coating. I never once thought that the waxy coating on conventional fruits and vegetables would be made from beeswax or from shellac. Although I guess I should have, because shellac in particular is often used as a shiny coating, right? Lots of little hard candies with shiny exteriors have shellac in them. That's what makes them like that. You'll see it as usually confectioner's glaze on a thing of sprinkles or, again, some sort of candy. Shellac is some sort of resin-like substance that's excreted by certain types of bugs. So people would make the argument, oh, well, they just take the stuff. They don't hurt the bugs. Well, of course, a lot of bugs are hurt in the process. So yeah, this is another thing, another non-vegan thing that even me, someone who's been vegan for well over a decade, never knew about, never thought about. I just did a video about pregnancy tests recently. I've taken so many pregnancy tests. I never once thought about them not being vegan. That's why I get so irritated when people get mad about vegans making mistakes. I mean, it's gonna happen. And just to be clear, I would not consider buying these lemons and oranges a mistake. I would not consider that really a problem at all. Certainly, we would like for them not to be covered with beeswax or shellac. And according to Tesco, or according to these, I don't know, but apparently Tesco is working with suppliers to come up with an alternative. Cool. You can buy organic, which questionable how positive that is. I would guess that not allowing synthetic fertilizer far outweighs the harm from the shellac or the beeswax. I personally would rather spend my money elsewhere, but it's just one of those little things that's hard to avoid. I mean, I guess you can avoid buying lemons and limes and oranges. I assume it's limes too. Maybe lots of fruits. I have no idea. But if it's lemons specifically, I mean, I never buy lemons. I always use the canned or bottled lemon juice because it's easier. And I don't know, every time I buy a lemon, I don't end up using it and it goes bad. Oranges I buy sometimes, but usually they're not very good either. I guess that's because of the pest that is destroying like all the oranges. It's nuts. Need to genetically modify those things. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't hesitate if I wanted to buy some lemons, if I wanted to make some really yummy, fresh lemon cookies where you need lemon zest. I wouldn't hesitate to buy conventional lemons because there might be shellac or beeswax on it. But that's just me. Again, if you look at the definition, it's about what we can actually do, not just like, oh, we can't be vegan because we all accidentally step on bugs. Like, that's not what veganism is. But I do think within that, there is some sort of personal, like, well, I mean, you could avoid buying lemons and oranges. I mean, you could really, like, no one needs to eat lemons or oranges. I wouldn't agree with the person saying that, oh, you're not vegan if you consume these citrus, but they're not technically wrong, I don't think. I mean, if someone said to me, hey, you can survive without your birth control pill that has milk that has lactose in it. So, you're not really vegan. Like you don't need that medication. I mean, yeah, technically they're right. It's shitty. Don't do that. Don't be that person. But I don't know where I'm going with this. I think there is some kind of gray area, I guess is what I'm saying. And so while I wouldn't say someone is not vegan for consuming lemons or oranges or whatever else with shellac on them, I can understand where someone else would be coming from if they said, you cannot buy those. Again, I would probably not like them. They're probably obnoxious and very, very strict, but I can understand a little bit. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter the label. What matters is that you're doing your best to make a positive impact and to lessen your impact. Eating some lemons and oranges with shellac or beeswax has very, very little impact. The big important things are the unquestionably not vegan things, right? The meat and the milk and the eggs and the cheese. Oh, I did find it weird. They say this means that the zest from orange peel or even lemons and limes would not be suitable for vegans to use in cooking. So this is just that typical not understanding what veganism is. It's not the eating part that we're worried about. It's the supporting the industry part. I mean, we've all had that well-meaning person say, well, just, order the burger, but don't eat the meat part, right? That's fine, right? So yeah, just a weird thing I learned about, another weird non-vegan thing I never once thought about. So it's interesting. It's just everywhere. We use animal products for everything. Luckily, it's a pretty minor one. Some beetles, I assume it's a kind of beetle or something. I don't know why. Just seems right. And beeswax, I mean, pretty minor in terms of harm. I know there are even some vegans who really are not concerned about bugs, about insects at all. They really don't think that they're sentient or sentient in any sort of meaningful way. And they might be right. I did a video on insect sentience a long time ago. Jesus Christ, like before I had any kids. I should probably update that. I don't know. Ultimately, my thing was we don't know for sure, but it's probably best to act as though they do. And I still stand by that. Although I have to admit, I don't really care. Like in my bones, in my soul, in my heart, I just don't care. I don't care about insects. If it weren't for my husband, who will actually pick up spiders in his hand and carry them outside, they would be smashed. Just being honest. And I will say, I think I do appreciate Tesco doing this, even though it's weird for limes and lemons to say not suitable for vegans, especially when there's no explanation. So people see that and they're just like, what? Okay, Tesco, go back to bed. You're drunk. But I think more information is usually good. And so I do appreciate that. And maybe other retailers will start to do that. And so we can see which fruits and vegetables do have some sort of non-vegan coating, and then we can actually make a choice. So while I don't think ultimately it's that important, I do appreciate the transparency. And again, them noting that they are looking for alternatives. So that's it. A pretty short video for me. I find myself, which I guess I didn't really realize I was doing, and now I'm making the video longer, but really quick, I find myself finding little things like this and wanting to talk about it, but then thinking, well, I don't really have very much to say and it's going to be a short video, so I don't do it. And I didn't really realize that's what I was doing. Oh, it's going to be a short video, so I don't do it. But why? Why can't it be? You watch short videos all the time. Maybe people would like that sometimes. Maybe every video doesn't have to be 20 plus minutes. I think it's because getting ready and getting makeup on, even though it takes me 5 minutes, I barely wear anything these days, and setting up, even when it's just in here and it doesn't take very long, it's still a thing. And my kids, and now there's a tiny baby who cries, camera shut off. But yeah, it's a kind of a thing recording. So I want it to be more substantial, I guess, or to have more things to record at one time. And so yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this and what I ate today's and all sorts of, vegan related stuff. Maybe some other stuff. I've been thinking about branching out and doing other stuff. And I'm making the video longer. I can't stop. I've been thinking about branching out and doing other video topics for a while, but it feels weird and I don't know I don't know how to do it, or I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much, of course, to patrons, patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. And yeah, I'll have a new video very soon.